ever been out and about in the Las Vegas Valley, you may have seen this little guy running around, but that's no chipmunk. In fact, this critter's bigger cousins include prairie dogs and woodchucks. But if it's not a chipmunk, what is it?
So there are over 200 species of squirrels in the U.S., and ground squirrels are native to the southwestern United States. And here in Las Vegas area, we do have 3 different ground squirrels that we find. We find the white-tailed antelope squirrel, the round-tailed ground squirrel, and the rock squirrel. And right here on the Springs Preserve, we have the white-tailed antelope squirrel.
Like a chipmunk, the antelope ground squirrel has cheek pouches, but you might be surprised by what's in them.
Ground squirrels are omnivores, so they eat plant material, they really like seeds, and they will also eat insects or carrion if it's available. So they eat kind of a little bit of everything. So they're really good at stuffing their faces full of food and then caching it in their burrows.
This animal only weighs about as much as a deck of cards when fully grown. But despite its diminutive size, it's tougher than you'd think, hunting arthropods like spiders and occasionally going after small lizards. Unlike its chipmunk cousins who live in cooler forested areas, the antelope ground squirrel is able to survive body temperatures of over 104 degrees Fahrenheit and has other special behaviors to help it live in our desert heat.
The ground squirrels handle our hot summers really well. They actually are diurnal, which means they're active during the day. So during those hot summers, they'll kind of hide out in their burrows during that hot part of the day, and they're more active in the morning or the early evening. They do not hibernate in the winter, but they are maybe a little bit less active. They are active all year round, and we see them out foraging for food, just kind of scurrying around.
So if they're not hibernating in the winter, what are they doing?
We'll see them diving back into their burrows if we get too close, or if you sit back and watch, they'll come out and kind of look around, and you'll see them go on off scurrying for some food or looking for more snacks.
And maybe a date?
Breeding season lasts from February to about early June, and they tend to have between 5 and maybe 16 or 17 babies, and the average is about 8 or 9. And then they stay with mom for the first year. They are sexually mature after a year, so mom is a grandma after their first year.
A good burrow is a great survival tool in the desert, and the antelope ground squirrel, ever the survivor, isn't shy about getting itself one, even if it is slightly used.
Ground squirrels create their own burrows, but they also will take advantage of other burrows. Like if a kangaroo rat has built a burrow, they'll kind of take over, or they'll take that burrow. But they create really extensive burrowing systems, and when they have their young, their babies, they create a little nest chamber in there, and they line it with fur and twigs and maybe some vegetation.
Besides making a cozy home, burrows provide essential protection from predators. They can dive into one of these nearby shelters to escape. Otherwise, their only defense is to outrun their hunter. This leads to one of their cutest looking behaviors, which is the ground squirrel equivalent of the neighborhood watch.
They are on the menu for a lot of different animals. So they exhibit this behavior when they come out of their burrows or when they're kind of hanging out looking for food. They will stand up and look around. And what they're doing is looking around to make sure there isn't anything that is coming for it.
With their omnivorous diet, climbing abilities, cool burrows, and large litter sizes, the antelope ground squirrel thrives in our desert. In fact, it's so self-sufficient, it doesn't need any help from humans.
It's a good idea to not try to attract them or feed them in any way. This makes them dependent on humans, which if they are ever stop being fed, then that's really detrimental to their lifestyle.
It's a better idea to see these tough little cuties out in their natural habitat. The Springs Preserve has 3.5 miles of trails winding among our 110 acres of pristine desert. So whether you hope to spot an antelope ground squirrel, a migrating hummingbird, or another amazing desert neighbor, the Springs Preserve has got you covered.